Hey everybody, it's Irene with BrainStorm Acres. And if you were to look at my house right now, you would notice something very unusual. The windows are open. Yep, that's right, the windows are open. Now that is not something we would have done in the last few days, at least not during daylight hours. Today we had to go up to Flagstaff for a doctor's appointment, and Jack needed his Bordetella vaccine. So we were up there pretty much all day. And while we were up there, all of a sudden I get a rain alert. Now, this was totally not forecast, but at least not for the forecast that we had seen. But we know that at this time of year, sometimes we can occasionally get random rain cells that pop up. They can be quite a challenge sometimes because they can make a heck of a mess. We were all buttoned down here yesterday because we actually did get like 6 drops of rain. But that's enough to make us button down things so that we don't do any damage. But it actually rained 0.05 inches of rain while we were gone. Now, that may not seem like a lot to people who live in normal climates where it rains. But we were just excited. We got here, we had driven through some rain. Actually had to, it shows how long it's been since it's rained. I have never driven this car with windshield wipers before. And Henry had gone to the eye doctor, so his eyes were dilated, so I needed to drive, which is fine. But I'm like, okay, which thing do I use to turn on the windshield wipers? So he told me, fortunately he remembered, and that was a good thing because we needed them. It wasn't enough rain to do anything other than run them once in a while. And I actually had to run the cleaner too because there was just enough mud on the windscreen to make it nasty. But yeah, we actually used the windshield wipers today. It's very scary. But when I got home, I was the first one in because I let Jack out and got him in the yard and took his coat off and all that kind of stuff. And I walked in, and first of all, I could smell the rain. So I knew there had been some moisture, but it's impossible, you know, just to guess sometimes. It's just all in the air. But I noticed this. Now what that is where the flowers from this hollyhock have landed on the pavement and gotten wet. And I went, whoa, wait a minute, that got wet. And then I peeked in the watering can, and there's actually a tiny bit of water in the bottom of the watering can. And I'm like, whoa, that means measurable rain. So, 0.05. But we'll take it. We're excited about that. You'd be amazed at how refreshed the garden looks right now, and that's for a couple of reasons. Number one, it dropped the temperature. It's actually, it says it's 93 here, but it's not. It's 84 in the yard, because this gives me the weather station, which is 8 miles north of town. But right here, it's 84 degrees because we had the cell come here. It hasn't hit up north yet. And there's still a potential for more. We have gray skies over here. So we'll see if we get any more. That'd be awesome. If we don't, we're thankful for what we got. It dropped the temperature immensely. I want to say it didn't get down to 84 until... It didn't get down to 84 until after bedtime last night. And we went to bed about... We shut the house down about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So it was not until 4 o'clock this morning when I got up to use the bathroom and let Jack out for a quick leak that we actually opened up the house because it was too hot. It doesn't do it any good to open up the house if you're just going to make it hotter. So we have some flowers that look positively delighted. We have hollyhocks. And we have, the calendulas have been blooming for several days, so they're a little shaggy looking. Except that this is a new flower over here. And there's a couple of more that are still opening. Oh, there's a brand new one there that just opened this morning. He's looking good. Different marigolds, a couple of different colors. Lots of gomphrena. What else is blooming in here? Oh, the cosmos are blooming in here. And very excited about the cosmos. We've been growing cosmos that we bought at Johnny's for years. And we've always been very pleased with them in the sense that they gave us some pinks and some whites and stuff like that, and it was nice. They bloom for a long period. They can tolerate the heat, and they're pretty. I mean, they really are pretty. But these are from Haas Tools, and I tell you what, wow, wow, wow. I gotta show you this over here. Got all kinds of other stuff blooming here. These are done blooming now, but the portulaca was full yesterday. But look at this cosmos. Isn't that a gorgeous color? I have never ever had cosmos that color before, and I've grown quote-unquote the varieties before, but all I have ever gotten is a pale pink, and not even like a striped pink like the one I just showed you, just pale pink and white. That's 99% of what I got was white, actually. So I am super excited. This was supposed to have some colors to it, and we're not planting the entire package, so it's just very exciting when you do just plant, you know, a couple of dozen seeds and you still wind up with some color. Very psyched. These oh, my brain just totally fell out. These ageratum are it's been a really long day, are just barely starting to bloom, but they should be full of blue flowers soon. They're covered with buds. It's amazing. And the celosia here is also just starting. I have two different kinds. I have Century and I have Chief, both from Haas Tools. And yeah, we tried a whole bunch of their flowers this year, and very excited. This is a self-seeded hollyhock. We save hollyhock seeds every year from the prettiest ones. I had gotten, oh, and this is 10 years ago, I bought a pack of hollyhock seeds because I love hollyhocks, and I wanted to get some established in the yard because I knew they'd self-seed. And I wound up with like the most boring pale mauve sort of, I mean, oh, I was crushed. I was like, oh no. So I kept looking for other ones, and somebody had given me a couple of seeds, and if you just let them do their own thing, the genetics will a lot of times broaden out, and they did. We've got all different kinds of edges. This one has fairly smooth edge, it's just not deeply divided. This one is, again, not super deeply divided, but it does have a bit of a ruffle to the edge. This one is more deeply divided, almost fringy. And these are all self-seeded. I didn't plant any of these. Now, I did plant some last year called Black Watch, and I was not thrilled. They're super, super dark to the point where there's really no color to them, kind of. There's almost black. And I know people like that, but it's not what I was looking for. I prefer the brighter colors. I like the cheerful. I don't mind white, but I like bright colors. I actually got a video on my phone, I think. I'll have to check. Of these guys the other morning, right after they'd been watered. There was a butterfly, a little teeny gray hair strike on every single one of these flowers. It was amazing, just amazing. A ton of these zinnias in here are from Haas Tools too. I know that these are not. These are crazy. Those come from that's the name of them. Jazzy, rather. They come from Johnny's. But we really do like zinnias. So all these ones in the back here are all Haas Tools. We're trying their Bannery Giants and a couple of different ones. And then we've got their dwarfs, and I'm trying to think what else. I don't remember, to be honest. But we're looking forward to see what these Cosmos turn out to be. My goal is to always get a bunch of plants that will self-seed. The Cosmos is not super reliable about self-seeding here, but the Bachelor Buttons are very reliable about self-seeding, as are the California Poppies, the Violets, the Violas, or Johnny Jump-Ups. The Dianthus that's in here is usually pretty reliable too. So we're trying to get this, you can see, we've got this, just this lovely little kind of bouquet almost sitting here of all different kinds. That hollyhock back there is probably going to be a black watch. I planted one there last year. We'll see if it maintains that color or if it changes around or what it does. These sunflowers that are in here that are starting to go crazy, these are from Haas Tools. We just fertilized the other day, so people are starting to perk up a little bit more. They've had a really rough summer so far. This entire last week has been between 98 and 109 degrees. So that's a little hotter than most of us prefer. These are on drip irrigation. They do get watered, but I'll tell you what, none of us are happy about that temperature range right now. So I've got more of the Haas Tools sunflowers along the wall here. And unfortunately, I am going to have to plant some more because we think a mouse got into the greenhouse because he chomped about 6 seedlings last night that had just come up. He got all of the sunflowers and about half of the yard-long beans that had just come up. We were not even sort of amused. So yeah, we have to fix that. We think you know where we came in, so we've stuffed that with tin foil, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But very excited about the flowers. And to our friend Lisa, as you can see, your bells are starting to bloom soon. What are you? Oh, you need to go. Squish. Anyway, we are starting to get squash bugs and some other things that occasionally need to be removed. I've been squishing cabbage loopers. There aren't enough of them to be worth spraying yet, but whenever I see a hole, I check. I tend to just spend a few minutes just fishing through, and despite everything, we're doing okay. It's been a really rough week. This heat is supposed to continue for like another 10 or 12 days, and I so hope they're wrong. I mean, we're watering heavily, but you can see that the potatoes are starting to look a little shaggy. I need to water some more. Right now, it doesn't seem like it matters how much you water when it's 100 and something degrees. They're just not real happy, but they've been doing really well, and I hate to see them kind of shriveling up a little bit, so time for more water. These are all from Haas Tools. We have two of their collections. I think we have the Homestead collection and one other, I forget which. Gourmet or something like that, I don't remember. There's 3 collections available through them earlier this year, and we got 2 of them. Because we really only have room for, well, we don't really have room for 2 of them, but we decided to do it anyway because we wanted to try a whole bunch of different varieties. So this is most of the varieties, I think. Yeah, well, the Adirondack Blues are over here. Adirondack Blues are right in here. So, and in buckets, we have some in buckets. We've already harvested 1 bucket 2 weeks ago, I think. And it's time to harvest another bucket this week, and we'll see how that one does. The first bucket was good, but it was mostly new potatoes, and that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But we wanted to let the next bucket grow on a bit more, so we did. And yeah, here's some more of the Ageratum from Haas. They're just starting, just starting. They're going to be pretty, 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 pretty. I like bright colors. You could probably tell. So, Henry's busy working on a video, and I will give him this, and he can add this to videos. I have no idea what he's choosing to do right now because we just got back from the store. I got the frozen things in the freezer, the refrigerated things in the fridge. Got a drink of water, that sort of thing, and let the cat and dog out because they're very happy that it's a little cooler. They've hardly spent any time outside at all lately, except early in the morning and late at night, and it's been, by the time it's really cooled down, it's been after bedtime. So they're very sad. So they were very thrilled, except Issa kind of looked out the door and went, "The ground is wet. How did that happen?" She was confused by that. So until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because obviously there's a ton going on around here, including our secret project. And this is going to turn into a yard one of these days. It really is. We're starting to get things smoothed out. We'll get all this junk cleaned up, get all the piles of dirt out of here. I have to get all this flagstone reset. we'll set this whole thing here with flagstone. I have to redo, let's see, the flagstone on this side is fine, thank goodness. As I trip over something. Yeah, flagstone here is fine, but this flagstone is going to wrap around here, and this flagstone here needs to be reset, including the gap over there, wherever the pipes are. And I'm not sure how far into here we'll bring the flagstone, and then I have to redo the flagstone on the walkway. So obviously there's a ton to watch. So until next time, bye.